Hey y'all, welcome to today's vlog. As you can see, we are both alive, barely. Let me lay her down for a nap and I'll tell you about this crazy weekend we've had. Let's go. Bedtime, baby.
We are taters. That's Sophia Booger, Mom.
I love it. Hey everybody, first of all, I just want to say thank y'all so much to all of you that follow us on Instagram and that have given us your prayers and your well wishes. We really appreciate it. This last weekend has been tough. It has probably been the hardest couple days that I've had as a parent so far. And I'll tell you why. So what happened? Okay, Friday night. Friday during the day, we were celebrating our Valentine's Day, and it was a good day. Everything was great, except Sophia seemed a little off. Like, we were going around town. We went and took her to like the park. We did some pictures over by Sloss Furnace down here in Birmingham, and it was a fun day. It was a really fun day, but I could tell that something was off with her all day. Like, her appetite wasn't normal. It wasn't like there was no eating. It was just that she wasn't eating as much as she usually does. And she just wasn't being her fun, playful, happy self. So it was a little weird of a day with Sophia. And then when we got home, I gave her a bottle at like 5 o'clock. And she immediately threw up the whole bottle. So she drank it. But then she threw it up, and it was like she was like, I was holding her while she was throwing up. She was just happened to be in my arms. She had just eaten, and I was holding her and playing with her. And you could just feel her little body just start throwing up, like projectile vomiting on the side of me. Like she's right here. She was throwing up this way and just like all over me. And we were sitting on the couch, and it was all over the couch. And then Corey was in the kitchen, and I was like, babe, come here, help me, you know. So he rushes in, and I could feel her body just, you know, like trying to keep going. And there was like nothing left in her. She was throwing up so much. And then I could feel like the way her body was clenching, like she was trying to poo. Okay? Sorry, but it was coming out of both ends. And so it was so scary to me when that happened. And it's not like she's never thrown up before, but not like this, you know. And I had been thinking that she was a little warm, but I'm the kind of person that I'm always thinking that she's warm. And Corey's always like, you always think she's hot, you know. So I was like, no, okay, something's wrong with our baby. Let's check her temperature. So I checked her temperature, and it was 102.5. Now I checked it underneath her armpit. And, because I just don't like sticking things in her bum. I mean, I just don't want it. Like, if I don't have to do that, I'm not going to. So anyway, I checked it under her armpit. It's 102.5. She's never really been sick before. A couple weeks ago, you know, in these last couple weeks, it's the season for colds. So I feel like she's had a cold, and this was like the first time she's been sick, but she's never had a fever before. So Friday night, that's the first time she's had a fever. It was 102.5 on her arm. I said, okay, let me give her some Tylenol. And of course, I'm Googling, you know, what's going on. And I'm thinking, okay, she's just got it's okay. This is not one of those things where we rush her to the doctor. You know what I mean? We just call family, friends, and stuff like that. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine. She's like, it's fine. She's probably just got a little cold. Give her some Tylenol, and it was almost bedtime. So we gave her some Tylenol. We laid her down to go to sleep. I think I checked on her again that night at like 10:30, and her temperature had gone down to like 101. So it's like, okay, it's going down. So anyway, then the next morning, we have a funeral to go to that's about 2 hours away from home. And it's up in Fort Payne in the mountains. And so we were planning on leaving that morning and going to the funeral. Well, we were going to kind of play it by ear with her because we had booked a hotel room there. If y'all watched my vlog, the plan was to go up there. We checked her temperature, and she had a 99.7 fever. So, and again, in our heads, we're thinking, okay, so last night was the worst of it. It's going down. It's going to be okay. She's on the mend, right? So we pack up, and we're like, let's go ahead and go to this. The service, you know, last that afternoon, the driving and stuff. So anyway, we finally get back to the hotel room at like 4 o'clock. And I'm thinking, okay, she feels really hot. Corey had dropped us off at the hotel, and he went to go get something to eat. And so it was just me and Sophia in the room. And I was like, baby, you feel so hot. Let me check your temperature again. And, you know, I had brought her medicine, her cough syrup and her Tylenol and the thermometer with us. So I checked her temperature and she was 100 on her armpit and she was 104. She was 104 even. And so then I'm like, oh my God, panic mode. Like, that's really high. What happened? It was 99 this morning. Like, what's going on? So I called our pediatrician, and it's after hours and all that. And so I call, I have to leave a message with their service, and then they call me back. They finally call me back while I'm like pacing the room. And she says, okay, she asked me how I took the temperature. I told her under the arm. She said, no, you need to do it in her rectum. So, you know, I did that. And when I did that, it was 105.2. So it was like a lot more to do it that way. And she said, that's the most accurate way to take her temperature. That'll give you the most accurate reading. I didn't know that. Now I'm like, okay, we're going to have to do that if that's the case. So anyway, now I am like freaking out. I'm thinking, what is wrong with my baby? We're talking to the pediatrician. She says, she's on the phone with us when we take this temperature, and she says, yes, you need to take her to the emergency room. Oh my God. Like, my heart stopped. So I'm frantically packing up, you know, whatever we needed to go and get out the door. And I've got her, and we're rushing out the door, and we don't know. We're 2 hours from home. So we're not like we're next to Children's Hospital, which we're familiar with, or like our town, you know. So we're Googling, you know, where's the closest emergency room, and just really freaking out. And bless her heart, she's just pitiful. And she's got this little cough, and her nose is running, and her whole face is red, and she's literally burning up, and she's just clinging on to me so hard. And her little head is right here, you know, on my neck, and I just feel it. And I'm sweating from her heat. It was so bad. And so we rush into the emergency room. Thank God there was one just a couple miles from our hotel. You know, they got us back there, and they said that they needed to get her fever down. They gave her Motrin, which we've always given her Tylenol if we ever felt like when she was teething. The times that she did need something, we've given her Tylenol. We've never given her ibuprofen or Motrin or anything. So that they gave her a big dose of that. And then they swabbed her in her nose twice. One for the flu, one for strep, and they did one in her mouth. I guess that's for strep. Anyway, it was RSV, flu, and strep were the three that they said they could test for there. And so they tested her for all of those. All of those were negative. So that was good. But at the same time, we're thinking like, okay, if those are negative, then what is this and what's going on, you know? The doctor said that the high fever wasn't going to hurt her. So basically her body's doing what it's supposed to do. She's probably got some kind of virus is what they told us at the ER. And, you know, she's testing negative for all these other things. So they didn't give her antibiotics or anything like that, but they got her fever down to like 101.9, I think. And then sent us home, and they said, you just need to watch her and keep her fever down and get her to the pediatrician, you know, where they can test. They have like a 14 panel test there that they can do to find out, you know, what it is. But right now, just, you need to watch her real close. And so that's what we did. We got her down, and you could tell, like, as soon as her fever went down, you could tell that she was feeling better. You know what I mean? She started smiling, and as soon as it was going down, it was like a new baby. Like, she went from this clingy, really pitiful to like, she's still pitiful, but she was at least smiling and at Dad's jokes. You know what I mean? Daddy was trying to make her smile, and she was smiling for him a little bit. So we felt better, like, okay, this is okay. So that night was just miserable, you know, and we're up every 4 hours, and we're changing her between the Motrin and the Tylenol, which we've come to find out Tylenol doesn't really do anything. So the Motrin's what's keeping her fever down. So we're back at the hotel. The night's been miserable. We're trying to get some sleep, but there's two of us and the baby, and she's in her pack and play at the end of our bed, and she does not want to go to sleep, and she does not want to be away from us. So we're going back and forth from putting her in her pack and play to bringing her on the bed, and she's hollering and screaming and kicking, and she just, you know, she was just not happy. She did not want to be in that hotel room. So finally we said at like 11 something, we said, you know what, let's just go home. We're 2 hours from home. We're not going to get any sleep here. You know, we might as well be driving and be home where we're okay and we're safe. So we packed up and we hit the road and we got back to Birmingham at like 1 something in the morning. Bless her heart, she was so tired. She did sleep in the van a little bit for like half the way, and the other half the way she was awake and just screaming bloody murder. So it was a very difficult drive home, for half of it anyway. We got home, put her in her crib. She was able to go to sleep when she was there and comfortable in her own room. So we were able to finally get some sleep. We gave her some medicine like right before she went to bed, and then woke up that morning, gave her some more medicine. She was able to sleep again, fall back asleep after that. And then, let's see, that was so Saturday night to Sunday. And Sunday, all day Sunday, that was the name of the game, was just sick baby. Let's take care of the sick baby, So we kept her fever down, and slowly through the day, it started to go down. I think by Sunday night, it was down to like 99.9 or something. And so anyway, Monday morning, first thing that I did was I took her straight to our pediatrician's office, and they saw her, and he said, at this point, her temperature has gone down, and she's looking better. She looks like she feels better. She's not as pitiful. I mean, she's still kind of pitiful, but they wanted me to try to get her to pee. So they like put this bag on her, and so she had just like peed right before we got there. So I was like, this is going to be a while. So we were like literally sitting in the doctor's office, and I had her in the sink of the doctor's office, and she was kicking and playing, because I'm thinking running water makes me have to pee. Well, it made me have to pee, me and my pregnant self. I was like I was holding my legs together. I had to pee so bad, but she was not having, she was just having fun playing in the water. She was drinking out of the water fountain. I mean, it was pretty cute actually, but she ended up not even peeing for the 2 hours we were there. And they ended up sending me home with those bags, and they said, okay, well, right now they took her blood. They did the swabs again for the flu and stuff. So they ruled out the flu, they ruled out pneumonia, strep, like all the serious ones. And they said, what the blood work was saying was that it's a virus. And I said, well, what virus? I want to know exactly what it is. And he's like, well, we got to send that off to Atlanta. By the time we get back, she's going to feel better anyway. It's a virus. It has to run its course. And that's kind of how this works. We're just going to keep a close eye on her and keep her fever down, and, just be sweet to her. She's a sick baby. And that's what we've been doing. So we came home, and we've just been taking care of the baby. Yeah. So that has been our weekend. That was the last couple days. It was crazy. It was the scariest thing in the whole world, though, to have to rush, like, for the doctor to say you need to take her to the ER. Like, just even, like, God, what do you do? I mean, I've just never been so scared in my whole life, ever. And there's been some hard days becoming a mother, but this was the hardest, just in the sense that I've never been so scared in my life for anything. So to not know what's wrong with her was just the worst. And we still don't really know, but we know that it's better, and we know that it was a virus and that it's nothing major. We ruled out the really major bad stuff. So that's what's been going on. I know this is just a vlog of me just rambling and telling you everything, but I figured, I wanted to keep y'all in the know of what was been going on with us, and it was a rough weekend. I hope that y'all all had great Valentine's Days with your loved ones, and, that your weekend was way more pleasant than ours. But, this had to happen eventually, and now it's happened. And so moving forward, I feel a little bit more prepared. If, this ever happens again, I kind of know more of what to do and what's the right thing to do and the wrong thing and stuff like that. So that's it, folks. That's what's been going on with us. And thank you again for all of y'all that follow us on Instagram. If you don't, go follow us. It's the Southern Fried Maple Leafs on Instagram. And thank you all for your prayers and your comments on our posts over there since this has been going on. We really appreciate it. And y'all are the best audience ever. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all of your love. And we'll see you on the next vlog. Be good. Take care. Don't get sick. Peace out.